Yesterday, we were doing a small experiment with unmanaged disk. If you lost the grip, let me show it again. So yesterday, we created two virtual machines, right? Two VMs. One VM was a managed one. One more VM was a unmanaged one. So if you can see, this is the managed disk and this is the unmanaged disk. Okay. And what our motto was, in a managed disk, if you want to expand the disk, right? If you want to make the disk bigger, go to disks. You have a C drive, which is 127 GB, and you want to make it big. Let's say 512 GB. What will you do, sir? You have to stop the VM. Must. You have to stop because it's a OS disk. You have to stop the VM. And then click on the disk and go to size plus performance and change the size from 128 to 512 and then save it. Then start the VM again. After starting VM, go to Windows, Disk Management, and extend the volume. You will see that. So there's an option called extend the volume. That's exactly what we have done. So what if we plan to do the same demo in an unmanaged disk? Same demo, as it is same demo. So now in an unmanaged disk, you have disks, right?
Yes.
If you can go to the disks, these are the two disks. I stopped the VM, so by the way, if you want clarity, go to overview. Go to virtual machines, go to unmanaged disk. The VM is right now stopped. Okay. Now we want to change the size. Okay. Go to disks. This is the unmanaged disk that you have. Click on it, sir. And it's 127 GB. I'm making it 512 GB. Same thing, right? Right, sir? Technically same thing, and click on save. I wanted to show this yesterday, but time was up, sir. So that's why I'm showing it today. Saved. Now, sir, what's the proof that it got modified? What proof you want, KD? Refresh. It's showing 512 GB, sir. Correct? But the best proof always is go to storage accounts. Storage accounts. Go to the KD storage that we have created yesterday. STD1, not PRE, STD1. Go to STD1. Inside STD1, go to containers. In the containers, you have a folder called VHD. In the VHD folder, yesterday this file was OS disk, sir, was 128 GB. Today it is 512 GB. So same concept, sir. Whether it is managed disk, whether it is unmanaged disk, stop the VM, increase the VM, increase the disk size. But only difference between managed and unmanaged is unmanaged, you have a file in the background in which you can see that file. You can observe that file. You can touch and feel the file. Whereas in a managed disk, sir, Microsoft is managing everything in the back end. So they don't show you all the files. They don't show you all the storage accounts and all that, sir. But everybody, have you understood the main difference between managed disk and unmanaged? Managed, you have to handle. You have to manage the files also. You have to make sure, sir, listen, you have to monitor and see. So what is the limitation of a storage account? Max limit of a storage account? One storage account max capacity, how much?
5 PB.
5 PB, 5 petabytes, sir. So you have to validate how much space you have reached. Quota. You keep checking. Oh, now it's, this is 1 TB and 1.5 TB, 10 TB, 200 TB, 500 TB, 1000 TB, 2000 TB, 3000 TB, 4000 TB, 4500, 4800, 4900, 5000 touched. So you have to keep an eye on that, sir. Whereas in a disks,
no,
you don't have to worry because Microsoft is managing internally. That is also one. So what is best, sir? Manual involvement is more for unmanaged disk. For managed disk, sir, your involvement is minimal. Microsoft is taking all the headache. And of course, the charge also. Any questions anybody has?
Can we get any alert?
We can. So alerts are possible. Meaning, what you are saying is, whenever the storage account is hitting on the capacity, can we get some alerts? Yes, we can configure alerts. I mean, not up to 5 PB, sir. Whenever it reaches 4.5 or 4 also, you can get notified.
If we use any monitoring tool, I mean, any like third-party monitoring tool without Azure, okay. So can we monitor that as well from if I'm using
I mean, sir, the monitoring tools must be smart. The monitoring tools must be capable of monitoring cloud also. If the monitoring tool is capable of monitoring cloud services also, then you can monitor this. But there are some monitoring tools which can't monitor cloud, sir. It's not possible.
Okay.
Not possible.
Thank you.
Hi, Veera. Good morning. Veera, I think, can you hear us? That's one. Veera can't hear us. Veera, can you hear us? You're on mute, I think. Okay, Veera Swami has company, Shiva Swami. So.
Yeah, hi.
Now we can hear you. Yeah. Okay, then. Veera is joining for today. I think my mistake. I forgot to give him the link long ago. So then again, yesterday we met and finally I could pass on the link to him and he's joining today. So Veera, the sessions are available. You can catch up and we will have a conversation later. Thanks for joining.
Sure.
Okay, so here we go, everyone. So unmanaged disk is there, managed disk is there. So now I'll show one Excel sheet, so comparing managed and unmanaged. Before we go there, shall we go and confirm this demo is done or not now? So VM disk size increased. Now let's start the virtual machine with your approval. Virtual machine, where is it? Unmanaged disk. So I'm starting the VM, sir. I'm starting the VM started. So, sir, when you're doing labs, right, which will be mostly tomorrow or earliest by Thursday, Friday, sir, we are planning for it. When you're starting the labs, two things you have to do. Expand the disk in a normal VM, got it, sir? And same disk expansion demo in a unmanaged disk. So you feel the difference. Okay, 2 minutes. Okay, done. So the VM is starting now.
Means I can do it in either Linux as well, right? Right now you're showing us
Linux also, yes, sir. Right now we are seeing Windows, and I'll show a demo on Linux as well. Yes, Venkat.
I will try with the Linux.
Sorry?
I will try with Linux instead of Windows.
No, because as per our job role, we have to support Windows also, and we have to support Linux also. Everyone, basic Linux commands are needed, sir, because you accept or not, Azure Virtual Machines is not only Windows alone, it is Linux also. So mild, I'm not saying like advanced Linux you should know, fundamental Linux things, because you interact with that Linux team at a fundamental level. We already have some commands which I'll show you in addition, sir. Okay, done. So the VM is started successfully. Let's connect to the virtual machine. I'm taking the public IP, remote desktop. Connecting to the server. Yes, sir. KDSSG. That's logging in. Done. Same thing, please. The disk will not, 127 GB only will still show up, sir. You will not see 512 GB. Just a sec. Just a sec. So we completed virtual machines topic, more of a VM creations, how to create VMs and all. Then we also completed 2 small topics called containers, Docker containers, and another small topic called a scale set. So, so that, again, those 2 are very mild topics, but the biggest topic that we have done is virtual machines. That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
Now we just started yesterday only storage. So storage is our next module. Okay, done, sir. Now everyone, let's go to. Yeah. So look at this. The C drive is still showing 127 GB, sir. So you know what to do, right? Run disk management.msc as we had seen. Yeah, so look at this. The additional 500 GB is there. What you have to do is just right click on this and extend the volume like you saw already. Just add the remaining all space. Your C drive becomes 500 GB. That's it. Not a big deal. So whether managed, whether unmanaged, concept is technically same. So concept is absolutely technically same. Nothing is changing. So managed disk, unmanaged disk, it's like one comes with flexibility. Another is like manual maintenance. You like manual maintenance, save some cost, go for unmanaged. You want Microsoft to manage everything, pay some extra bucks, go for managed disk. So shall I now, without any further delay, sir, shall I show you the what do you say? The Excel sheet, which does the comparison between managed and unmanaged. Are you ready? Yeah, okay, done. So before you go for the Excel sheet also, before we go even there, sir, one thing I want to show you here is, just a second, let's talk about it. Yeah, sir. Now, I already told you, anytime you can convert unmanaged disk into a managed disk, sir. But however, managed disk, you can't migrate into a unmanaged disk. That is not possible. It's a one-way ticket. So you can convert. Okay. Now, when conversion time, when I click that link, sir, do you know where did you know where I did? Did you see where I did? In virtual machines? In virtual machines, I went to that unmanaged disk virtual machine. Okay, sir. In that, I went into disks. In the disks, we have an option to migrate to managed disks. And then there is a small link, sir, which you need to see. This is a very, very important document. We also have a separate document of our own, but I already told you, right? Microsoft documentation is our most trustworthy documentation. So benefits of managed disk. Why should someone go with managed disk, excluding unmanaged disk? Answer is very simple, sir. In managed disks, you get 99.999% availability. 1 minute, sir. If you don't understand 99.999% availability, no. Uptime. So uptime.ease is a website. Uptime.ease is a website. I'm sure many of you, if you are an admin, you will definitely know this website. If you have not seen, then maybe you can see now. Now, what is the SLA? What is Microsoft assuring right now? 99.39s, right? Yes, sir? Put 39s. Oh, sorry. First of all, if I put 99% and press enter, it is saying that on a daily basis, I will make sure your storage or your virtual machine or your disks or your hardware or whatever, sir, is available for how much time? Remaining all full of 24 hours, it will be available. 14 minutes in a day, it will be down. Oh, people don't. 14 minutes in a day. If it's a critical business system, sir, I don't think they can afford this 99%. So 99.9 I will put. So in a day, 1 minute, 26 seconds. Good for us. So in a day, Rakesh, are you traveling by any chance? Are you outside somewhere? Rakesh.
No.
No, right? Okay. If you're traveling, so everyone, just a small suggestion. If you're traveling or you're outside somewhere, feel free to turn off the camera. That should be pretty okay. But just show us the video and then be on off video. If you are outside. If not, please be on the camera. So I just want to see your expressions and change content accordingly. Thank you, Rakesh. So 99 oh my God. So in a day, 0.86 seconds downtime, sir. Why would people not go for unmanaged disk? Availability is extremely high. So one reason, sir, different reasons why you should go for managed disk. Availability, 99.999%. Okay. Next point, sir. Now, wait, sir, one more thing. No, not finished. If one or more 2 replicas experiences issues, meaning, sir, 3 copies will be there, right? 3 copies of your data will be available, right, sir? So if you are using LRS option, Right, sir? If you are using LRS option, you get 99. 11 nines availability, sir. Sorry, I will not put in that website. If I put it, it's an insult for the website, sir, because it can't take that many nines. It will show Z. Yeah, I told you, right? This calculator is wrong. So ignore this one. But sir, to be on a safer note, LRS, locally redundant storage, meaning 3 copies in your different racks, 3 copies it will manage. We discussed, right? So that will give you 11 nines availability, right, sir? And by any chance, if you're going for zone redundant, right, in 3 separate buildings, it will give you even 12 nines availability. So, sir, what else is the reason you want for not going into managed disks? You should recommend, sir, actually, we all should recommend managed disks, not unmanaged disks. For one reason, availability. Can we move on? Yes, sir. Can we move on to the next point?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the most selling point of managed disks. Selling point of managed disk. There is a picture that I wanted to show you. 1 minute, sir. Yeah. So the beauty of managed disk is, if you go for managed disk, yeah, it is integration with availability sets. You all know what's an availability set. If you have virtual machines, fault domains and update domains, So managed disks are integrated with availability sets to ensure the disks of VMs in the availability are sufficiently isolated. Meaning, sir, I have to show this picture, then only you will understand actually what I'm saying. So now look at this. Sir, there's a VM1 in fault domain 0, and there is another VM in fault domain 1, and there's another VM in fault domain 2. Meaning your virtual machine, your VMs, total VMs are split into 3 fault domains. Sorry, Veera, this will be totally junk. Excuses for today. Yeah. So three virtual machines are present in 3 availability sets. So every fault domain will have a separate disk of its own. Every fault domain. So this VM will have a separate disk, managed disk. This VM will have a separate managed disk, this VM. So meaning even disks are kept in, hard disks also are kept in separate racks, sir. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Fault domain concept that you are aware, right, sir? See, for example, I have 10 VMs, 9 VMs. Okay, sorry, 9 VMs. 3 VMs are present in one availability set. 3 VMs are present in another availability set. 3 more are present in another availability set. So this is how you have planned. So fault domains. Their hard disks also will be segregated in separate fault domains. That's the beauty. So managed disk and availability set are integrated. Every FD will have its own hard disk FD also. If you are creating a virtual machine, its hard disk is kept in separate rack. If you are creating another virtual machine, sir, its hard disk is kept in separate hard disk rack. If you are creating one more virtual machine, sir, that virtual machine's hard disk is kept in separate hard. Sir, hard disks also have racks. Servers also have racks. I already told about this. Disk racks, 3-part storage I showed you, right? Like hard disks have racks, sir, like this, literally racks. So hard disks also have racks. Servers also have racks. If a server is going into one rack, sir, its hard disk also will go to a separate rack. They are not kept at same place. So if you keep in same place, the risk increases. Any questions anybody have? I'll stop here. So one reason why you should go for managed disk. It's an interview question, so we are going point by point, sir. One reason why you should go for managed disk. First one, availability percent, 99.999. Sir, look at this. Then KD, what was 99.999 you were saying? They are actually designed for 99.99% availability, sir. But if you are using LRS, locally redundant storage option, you will get 11 nines. If you're going for ZRS, zone redundant storage, sir, you will get an availability of up to 12 nines. That is one reason why you should recommend your customers to go for managed disk. Option number 1. Point number 1. Point number 2, sir. Point number 2. This can be well integrated with
availability sets.
Availability set concept. If you have 3 fault domains or any number of fault domains, every fault domain will have a separate hard disk rack. So you're not only keeping server in a separate, your VM in a separate rack, sir, you're also keeping the hard disk in a separate rack. Risk reduces.
Deepak, one question here. So while VM creation, if we select availability set option, can we also assume that our disks also being actually kept in fault domain?
Separate fault domain. I hope it is managed disk, right?
Yes, correct.
If it is managed disk, then it is being kept in a separate hard disk rack. Not only VM, sir, the respective hard disk is going into a separate rack. If it is unmanaged, there's a high risk that all your hard disks are present in one rack. If that crashes, sir, everything will go. No matter you are keeping CPU memory in separate fault domains is not the point. Disks also must be in separate racks for safety, isolation. I am seeing some question mark expressions here and there, at least for the people who are on camera. Please let me know. I will step back a minute. I'll stop. We can have a conversation, sir, because this is an extremely important point and absolutely an interview question. We have always got it. Always got it. Managed disk, unmanaged disk.
So in managed disk, you said it's 99. So how will you know whether the disk is failed?
I'll come to the point, Maker. Just a second. So nobody is asking about unmanaged disks, sir. What they're asking in interview is what is the power of managed disk? Why should I recommend my customers to go for managed disks? That is the question. Nobody will ask about unmanaged. Unmanaged is an old concept, sir. Gone. Nowadays, we are recommending managed only for everyone. Microsoft also has made managed default option. But my point is that this is a question that comes up. Sorry, Venkat, can you please repeat the question, sir? I couldn't hear it completely.
How can we know whether the disk is failed or not?
So, identifying failures, we have logs and we can identify through. We can see that when we do the troubleshooting part. No, but my point is, why should I upgrade to, or why should I be confidently, proudly, collar raise, use managed disk? Why? First answer, availability percentage. Second answer, it's powerful integration with availability sets. Meaning, so I have, okay, so leave all that. I have 3 VMs in my office, only 3. Not our office, sir, I'm sorry. I am a customer with 3 virtual machines only. I created one availability set. Except Veera, everybody in the class knows what is availability set. Yes. What's an availability set, sir? Now Veera will also know. See, three VMs we have. You want to keep one VM in a separate rack, a second VM in a separate rack, server rack, third VM in a separate server rack. If you want such a setup, sir, so first create availability set. So what will availability set guarantee? Whenever Veera is creating first VM, it goes to first rack. Whenever Veera is creating second VM, it goes to second rack. Third VM, third rack. The risk underlying is, sir, you are creating virtual machine. Virtual machine means what? CPU and memory. Virtual machine means not hard disk, sir. Agree? When you create a virtual machine, of course, disk option is there. I'm not saying no, but main virtual machine is what? CPU and memory. Perfect. Now, so my question is, KD, what if in my office environment, I'm using unmanaged disks? Sir, listen, my VM1 hard disk is also present in same storage account. My VM2 hard disk is also present in unmanaged. Unmanaged, I'm saying, sir. My VM1 hard disk is also present in the same storage account. VM2 hard disk is also present in the same storage account. VM3 hard disk also is present in the same storage account. I'm keeping everything in single storage account, sir. Right? Yeah, unmanaged. 3 VMs are in availability sets. Excellent. But hard disks are present in single rack. If hard disk fails, rack fails, all 3 VMs gone, sir. Then what's the point of keeping availability set? What's the point of having availability set, sir? That is why you use managed disks. If you use managed disks, first VM, first rack, hard disk also will go to a separate rack. Second VM, second rack, hard disk also will go to a hard disk separate rack. So that your 3 disks are safe. If one hard disk rack crashes, sir, remaining 2 are free and safe. So that is why managed disk is excellent because it has internal integration with availability set, linked with availability set. I can draw in a picture and say, because I'm still seeing question mark expressions here and there. Okay, just give me a minute, sir. No, just give me a minute. I'll take the same picture, nothing else. So look at this picture, sir. This is a picture with availability set, right? This is a picture with managed disk. Okay, let me draw my creative picture with unmanaged disk. Excuse me if the image looks unprofessional. So what I'm going to do now is I will remove this stupid disk concept here. Okay, everybody okay with this, sir? Maybe at least this picture will give the clarity to some extent. Yeah, sorry, sir. I did a mistake. I should remove him from here. Yeah. Now tell me, sir. Done. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Done, right? See, what I'm saying is, sir, I have a storage account now. Let me draw a small box here. Outside. Outside. This is my storage account. What is the logo for storage account? Just a minute, sir. I always forget. Storage account logo Azure. Done, sir. Copy image. Oh. All okay with this? Yes, sir. This is my storage account. I put a logo of storage account. Done. So what I'm saying is this hard disk. What shall I keep image? Okay, let me put this. That's okay. Now, if I have to draw a small brush, this belongs to this disk. If you understood, I'll not extend this more. I'll stop it immediately. If not, only I'll continue the pain. Done. Now, these 3 disks belong to 3 VMs now. So my point is, what if my storage account crashes? Even though
we'll lose the hard drive.
Even though you have exactly, it's a file, right? VHD file it is. These 3 are stupid 3 VHD files, sir, in a storage account. Then what's the purpose of having availability set, sir? Availability set purpose is getting wasted because of unmanaged disk. Rubbish. So that is why, sir, managed disk is like the best. You should recommend your customers managed disk. At least now it's okay.
In that case, in a real time, nobody will using unmanaged disk.
No, I mean, yeah, we have few, and we know the risk, and those are not critical systems, and backup is being regularly taken. If it crashes also, we don't care. And we have a backup anyways, OS backup, already snapshots being taken. So then we are good with it.
For dev and test also we can use.
Dev and test also we can use unmanaged disk. If you want to save budget, because agree or not, managed disk is going to be expensive than unmanaged disk. If you want to see the cost difference, I will show in a few minutes. So definitely, sir. By the way, sir, one more thing. So this is also not one reason. I'll show you one more reason why you should use managed disk. The next reason is, where's my cursor? Oops. Yeah. So the next reason is, if you're reading the same document, nowhere else, same document. So actually, I should have read this first. So in a unmanaged disk, so please, if you're using a managed disk, you can create up to
50,000 VMs.
50,000 disks in your subscription in one region. 50,000. Meaning, so for example, one VM needs 10 disks. One VM is using 10 disks. C drive, D drive, K drive, E drive, F drive, L drive, M drive, whatever, so different drives. So like that, each disk, 50,000 VM disks you can have per subscription per region. If you're unmanaged, sir,
It is 1,000.
For each disk, how much GB or TB you can give?
32 TB.
Okay.
And if it is Ultra SSD, 64 TB.
Okay.
So now you understood. So 50,000 is a huge count. For unmanaged, it is obviously less. It's no way close to 50,000. For unmanaged, it is no way close to 50,000. So one more reason why you should go for managed. So I think main reasons are three. So one, availability percent. Second one is most important one, availability set. A very crucial point. And then, sir, you should also be considering 50,000 VM disks per region per subscription. If you want another 50,000 disk in another region, you can get again. Any questions? Okay, done. Done. Okay, done. So now integration with availability zones, the same concept, building wise safety. If you are creating availability zone, right? Availability zone, your disks also will be kept in zones, 3 separate buildings. VM1 will have hard disk in this building. VM2 will have hard disk in another building. VM3 will have hard disk in the other building. So that integration is done through disks also. Got it, sir? Same thing. Building wise safety also you will get. That's also. So there are few more reasons which I can go further and talk, but we still did not cover those points. It would not be making any sense to talk about those additional things. Okay, sir? Wantedly, I'm not telling few things because we have to cover them later. Okay, done. So at least these 3 points will you tell us as answers? Managed disk, unmanaged disk difference. Managed disk gives us a higher availability percent. It is actually designed for 99.999% of availability. But if you're choosing availability zone, if you're selecting LRS, 3 copies in the same data center option, LRS, then you will be getting 11 nines availability. If you're going for ZRS, zone redundant storage, you'll be getting 12 nines availability. First point, sir. Second point, managed disks are well integrated with availability set option. When VMs are kept in different fault domain, each fault domain gets a separate rack of its own. This way, your disks are also isolated. Risk reduces. Okay, sir. And last but not the least, 50,000 VM disks can be provisioned per subscription per region. 3 selling points of managed disks. Okay, let's go back to the point. So one more question. We saw how to expand a disk, right? Yes. Can we also see how to add a new disk, which we have not done? For managed disk, we have done. For unmanaged, we have not done. Shall we add a new disk once and complete it quickly? Sir, I am planning to add a new disk. Help me. How to add? Already you have a 512 GB disk and 1 TB disk. I am planning to add. Obviously, it's on the screen, sir. Come on. So add a new disk and then select the disk name, whatever name you want to give. Unmanaged disk VM. I'll call it as disk 2, for example. Source, empty disk. Yes, let it be an empty disk. And then whichever HDD SSD you want. If you want SSD, then you need to select which storage account? Premium storage account. If it is HDD, you have to select which storage account? Standard storage. That's it. And then how much size you want? I'm giving another 1 TB. Fine. And then storage account. Or shall I put SSD 1 just to show? Okay, then let's put SSD. Then I'll put a 512 GB, sir. Container. So container name. I don't have container name handy. KD storage. What was that, sir? PRE.
PRE 123.
Yeah. Not PRE. I think premium PRE. Yeah. Or if you don't know, so you can browse, obviously. But I was just like, now we got the names. Selected what? Storage account. And inside that, there is no container, sir. So I'll create a container with what name? VHDS. Create the container with VHD name and select that container. So this is a storage account. In that container. What is container? I'll explain you tomorrow. So in that container, you are adding a disk, and this is your blob name. VHD file will be created. Just click OK. You're adding a 500 GB SSD now. Click on save. This will take a little time. And by the way, sir, once you add this, into which storage account you will see the file?
Premium.
Yeah, go to, no, it's still, yeah, successfully added. Now go to storage accounts, go to KD storage account, PRE1. Under that, go to containers. Under that, go to VHDs, and you will see this VHD files because I'm creating SSD1 premium. Okay, done. Now go to virtual machine in the VM. Please open disk management. And in disk management, sir, you will see the new disk. Yes, disk 4. Click OK. It's a 512 GB disk. New volume. Just give a drive letter, whatever you like, sir. E or anything. Finish. It's ready. Any questions, please? Sir, I showed a demo on managed disk once. I showed a demo on unmanaged disk once. Now you know the difference between the three. Even if I show the Excel sheet, same points are there. 50,000 availability percent and availability sets. And availability zone integration also.
Krishna, while we are adding any disk, not the default disk, if we want to increase any existing disk which we have created before, should we have to turn off the VM?
You're talking about not the OS disk, but you're referring to 1 minute. So let's go and do that. Keep quickly. Shouldn't take long. I mean unmanaged. You're talking about unmanaged only, right, Nagarjuna?
Yeah, unmanaged.
Okay. I am there. I went into disks. So here we go, sir. This is the, let's assume that this 1 TB we want to make 2 TB, for example. Okay, so, and you have no option to do. So technically speaking, unless, managed disks can be upgraded on the fly. Managed disk, you can just add extra space and without doing anything, it gets upgraded. Managed disks. Unmanaged, now VM is running, so I have to stop the VM. Okay, here I am, sir. It doesn't allow me to edit. Okay, so you can't. 1 minute. Same demo shall we do in managed also? This is unmanaged. You can't, sir. You have to shut down the VM, increase the disk, and then add. Let's go to managed disk also and complete that demo. Just a second. Here we go. Let me pick this managed disk, which is available here. Go to disk, sir. This is second disk, right? Let's say it's 1 TB. I want to make it 1.5 TB or 2 TB. Here it is. And go to size and performance. And it is 1 TB. I'm making it 2 TB. Save. And VM is running right now. And this is not C drive, sir. This is other disk. So answer is in unmanaged, it is not possible. In managed, we are doing it. So we can write some more points also between managed and unmanaged, but the interviewers want to hear mainly the 50,000 disk capacity, availability set. I see it's done, upgraded. And now you go to the virtual machine. Shall I take you to the virtual machine once? Let's connect to the public IP. It's loading. Just a second. One minute, sir. So we would not spend 2 sessions on managed and unmanaged disk for fun. Not at all. It is important, so we are discussing. Water is somewhere. Just a second, sir. Okay, I'm back. There you go, sir. Open disk management. disk mgmt.msc. Please see. This is the VM that I connected to. 1 second, sir. Maybe I'm in the wrong VM. This is the VM, right? Disks. Refresh. 2 TB. Disk 1. Why it is not showing 2 TB? Refresh. Surprising. It's not showing, right?
KD, I think so. You have to go to extensions and do some settings over there in Azure
No, sir.
portal.
It is on the fly.
Try.
This is on the fly, absolutely. It should be working. See, we made it 1 TB, 2 TB.
Browser refresh, KD.
So actually problem is not here. Problem is inside the VM. If I connect to the VM, it is not showing 2 TB disks. So here it should show 2 TB. It's showing only 1 TB still. That means it is not reflected here. Surprising. Should I do a restart once? It should apply on the fly. Okay, sir. Let me double check this one. It should come up, sir. 2 TB should come up. Extra space.
Okay, can you do the refresh on the top? On the disk management there.
I did it. I did that. I pressed F5.
Okay. Can you rescan the hard this thing, what you call drives? On the action button only we have that.
No, I think now I restarted the machine, sir. I think it should be restarted. Let it finish the restart. I have already pressed the restart. Any moment it will go down. Yeah. Oh, just 1 minute, sir. Let's verify this and then just verify this. But again, going back to Nagarjuna's question, sir. On the fly expansion is possible. Let's see why it's not reflecting inside the VM, but on the fly expansion of disks, except C drives, remaining drives is possible for managed. Okay, restart is done. Let us connect to the VM and try once again. So bear with me, 2 minutes. Obviously, it will not show here. Go to disk management and test.
Yeah, we got down.
Now it came. Here you go, sir. It was not there. It was not there in the past, or was it there? It was not there, right? We checked it.
Not there.
Okay, sir. Anyways, we want to extend this volume. Extend volume is not available. Okay, so I need to double check this once, but normally extend volume must be available. Good, Nagarjuna. Thank you for bringing this scenario. We'll verify. Let us view. Let me check and come back to you on this one. But all in all, leave all that conversations. Let's get to the point, sir. So we are talking about managed disk, unmanaged disk. Are you clear on that front? This one we'll experiment and double check again. Any questions anybody have on managed and unmanaged disks? While our content is being through, so just watch. Difference between managed disk and unmanaged disk. Even if you check and blogs and all, a most commonly very famous interview question that is normally asked. Right, sir? In unmanaged disk, you must create a storage account. You must manage all your VHD files. You must handle everything on your own. Whereas with the managed disk, Microsoft takes care of it. That's it. Okay, done, sir? Clear? Any questions? Class is not done yet, but any questions on till here? So if you go to some of the blogs, wherever you want to go through, so there are some key core differences given. So believe me, don't look into the old blogs. Reasons are the numbers can be outdated and you might be referring old numbers. Do you see that 20,000? But current scale is 50,000. That is why I'm saying, sir, don't read third-party blogs. Anything you believe, you must believe from the official Microsoft current document. Okay, just a recommendation. Even KDSSG content also, right, sir? Sometimes I might have not put the right number there. So always look at Microsoft documentation for any confirmation with capacity. Done. Okay, done, sir. Let's move back to the topic. So that's all about managed and unmanaged disks. This is how you can create VMs, disks, increase the sizes, expand, shrink, or whatever you want to do. So this is from one side of the story. Now, so if disks are clear, can we go to the remaining 4 storages? No. One more thing we did miss is disk sizes. So there are different sizes of disks in Azure, or disk types you can call. We have ultra disks. We have premium SSD. So actually premium SSD V2 was not there. Recently they have added maybe around 8 months, 7 to 8 months, or precisely less than a year. And then SSD. So earlier, what were the options, please? Ultra disks, premium SSDs, standard HDDs, standard HDD. So HDD is a normal hard disk. Remaining all are premium. Standard SSD is like okay type of SSD. Okay types, meaning not as perfect as premium. Ultra is like top. Actually, they are not top, sir. In the market, we have even better SSDs. Last time we discussed, right? When we talked about hard disk performances, what is the world's best SSD? Oh, did we talk about this? No, right?
Okay.
Okay, then 1 minute, sir. Don't Google for it. Don't Google for it. Let's talk. So first of all, so let's start with hard disks first, HDDs. So 2 important parameters always we should remember. If we are at the end of the class, I can continue this conversation tomorrow, but let me quickly cover at a glimpse. So two parameters are very important, sir, for any disk performance. One is IOPS and second is throughput. We should know what is IOPS. It's a hardware concept, as you know. And second one is a throughput. So I have a hard disk, for example, and I want to write data to this hard disk. Write is there, read is there. Write operation, read operation. So when I'm doing a write operation, sir, or a read operation, both are operations only. Input, output operations. Could be read, could be write. Could be read, could be write. So per second, IOPS, IOPS per second, in a second, sir. Second for you and for me is this. Second for you and second for a hard disk is like a lot of time. So IOPS per second, meaning per second, how many times a software can interact with this hard disk, sir? Per second. If it is hard disk, 500 times. Okay, for us it is fine, but a typical hard disk and the software correlation, sir, IOPS are 500, meaning I can't move 500 times a second. But sir, just imagine that input output operations going on to a hard disk 500 times per second. So that's the IOPS. 500 is like a cheap, normal, so nothing fancy, nothing superb. Now, wait. Let's go to the beginning of the document. Now look at standard SSDs. What is the IOPS there?
500. Same.
Standard SSD is also giving you almost similar IOPS. But sir, if you upgrade to a better one, better SSD so by the way, in standard SSDs also we have categories. There are some numbers like E1, E2, E3, E4, E6. You have to remember these numbers. Not all the numbers, please. Important numbers we have to remember. So if you look at E80, the costliest one, you can get up to 6,000 IOPS, meaning sir, per second, 6,000 input output operations. Okay, leave it. Let's go to premium SSD V2 or premium SSD, normal premium SSD, sir. There also you can see what? IOPS of how much? Oh, this is burst. I'm so sorry. That is burst. Yeah, this one, sir. starting with 120, and it can go as high as, 20,000 IOPS. 20,000. That means, sir, just imagine where is 500, where is 20,000. So you get better performance. And last one, sir, ultra discs, if you use, you get IOPS of up to how much?
1 lakh.
1,60,000. That shows the speed and performance of these discs. So IOPS is one parameter, sir. Throughput is another parameter. So IOPS you saw now, right? That means per second, how many times you can interact with the hard disk. Throughput on the contrary, on the other side, sir, is with what speed I can write the data. So every hard disk or a pen drive has throughput, 30 MB per second, 60 MB per second. This is the normal hard disk only, which I'm holding in my hand. Can somebody tell me approximately how much speed, with what speed I can copy a file to this one? Quickly, approximately. Approximately.
It can be 1 GB per second.
This is a little old one.
Oh. It is a normal HDD.
HDD. This is not
3.0.
It's 3.0.
3.0. It should be 512 MB per second.
Let's see, sir. Let's check. Seagate. This is what? Backup plus
1 TB.
Throughput. This is 4 TB throughput. So if you Google for it, you'll get the throughput. So 120 MB per second. This is like it's very slow. 120 MB per second. So not so fast. By the way, I have a pen drive here. I don't have it handy. So I have a pen drive. So sorry, because this comparison is very, very important to understand what works with what speed. Typically, pen drives operate with not more than any best pen drive you have, what is sold in the market. Maybe 30 MB per second you might get, sir. Okay, better hard disk with USB 3.0 you have, it may operate up to 60 MB per second. But pen drives, I don't think can go beyond this. So HDD, sir, on the other side, HDD can go up to 120, you saw, right? 120 MB per second. But there are some better HDDs also in the market, which can take you up to 200, 250 MB per second. Per second, 250 MB data can be copied. Got it, sir? Now, SSDs again, SSDs in offer, SSDs costlier one. During Amazon sale, whatever SSDs you get, please, you're getting a lesser price is fine, sir, but what is the throughput of it is what we have to check. Throughput and IOPS, both we have to check, even when you're purchasing a hard disk. So SSD approximate?
300.
300, perfect, sir. 300 per second, we will see mostly the basic SSDs. And of course, you upgrade more, always it is better. We also have 500 MB per second, ideal SSDs. Okay. Now, so why I'm saying all this one is now this is normal, our regular life. Now let's talk about HDD in Azure. Azure HDD, how much, sir? Fast throughput. You saw just now.
It was 500, right?
Throughput. 60 lowest. So let's write the range. 60 to 500. So good, sir. 500 is a good performance. Azure. 60 to 500. And then standard SSD. Standard SSD.
60 to 20,000.
Yeah, you can 60, starting 60 to, or maybe starting 60 to 750 MB per second. Not great, but still okay. If somebody else is checking, will be really time saving. Thank you. Okay, done. Next one, sir. Premium SSD. Can somebody check and give the answer in prior? We can save time. Premium SSDs. 25 MB to 900 MB, sir. And last one, Ultra SSDs. Here itself it is there. 300 to 4,000. 4000 means 4 GB per second, right? Approximately 4 GB per second. So one question I want to ask you. So if these are the best Azure is giving, can you please tell me what's the world's fastest SSD in the market today, as of today? And what's the IOPS, if you can find grades, sir, but throughput is what I'm asking. World's fastest SSD. World's fastest. No, this is purely for our knowledge and nothing else. Sir.
Is it Seagate storage expansion card for Xbox series?
Throughput. Any manufacturer is fine. We are not promoting any manufacturer right now, but just want to know the throughput, the best throughput they have.
3,500, huh?
3,000. No, sir. Azure itself is having 4,000, right? So it means normally people, normal hard disk should have. So Azure, what does Azure put in Microsoft Data Center? You tell me. What is available in the market? I'm talking about research. As per research, what's the best? I have the answer on the screen, but just throughput, sir. Okay. Answer is yes, sir. This is the world's fastest. But again, this is 2021 data. I might still be wrong. Answer is here.
26,000.
26,000 MB per second, which is almost like 26 TB per second.
GB, right?
It's actually GB per second. Sorry. 26 GB per second. Which is like super. Current one. Maybe still this is 2021 data as a November, meaning 1 year has passed. Maybe another research would have come. We are not sure. But officially, this is available. Different come. But again, you got my point, right? So IOPS and throughput are two important things. The more you understand about IOPS and throughput, the better, because in Azure, these play an important role. So 1 minute, everyone. Please watch here, sir. What I am trying to tell is, so having a proper understanding of IOPS and throughput is extremely important, because as an Azure admin, you can do some magics here. So watch this, and then I'm closing the class. Tomorrow we'll continue this conversation. For HDD, you can't do any magic. Got it? HDD is just like usage, no magics. For SSD, again, sir, for standard SSD, do you see a disk bursting option on the screen? Bursting option. So what you can do, sir, you can pump, cars have NO2, nitric oxide. And when you give the nitric oxide to the car, sir, it kicks off, and you know what I'm talking about.
Okay, understood.
All the gamers will know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Understood.
Boost the performance of the car. But again, so not for a long run, just for a short run, boost it. And again, it's the same thing. Bursting can be done. But again, sir, all this would be interesting discussion. First, if you understand IOPS and throughput. So again, this is your choice. If you can go to if you go to some videos later on YouTube, if you want, it's your choice. Internals of throughput and IOPS. There are some videos, sir. Check it. Anyways, I'm going to cover them. But if you want to do your own research and come with more questions, I'll be more than happy. Just a little more reading from your side on IOPS and throughput, because these two parameters play an extremely important role for not only Azure, even for our on-premises also, in Office also. But Azure especially more important. Okay, sir. Then with that, we will hold the class for today. Let's continue this conversation tomorrow. And tomorrow's concept is this only, right? By the way, which are the disk sizes which are important? What do we generally use in Office? Which disks are most famous? Which categories of disks are most famous? HDD, what is used? HDD, anything you can use. Not a great conversation. SSD, premium SSD, which are the ones we have to use? Ultra SSDs are rare, sir. They're very expensive. Depends on your order, but mostly premium SSD and standard SSDs is what we use. Which ones we have to use more and for what requirement, we'll talk tomorrow. Application servers, what is used? Database servers, what is used? Web servers, what is used? So as a DBA, they care about database performance. As an application guys, they care about application performance. As an Azure admin, we care about everybody's performance. So that's why for these three categories, we will write down some standard benchmarking which people use. We'll talk tomorrow. Thank you.
Bye, KD.
Thank you, Veera, for being on the camera. Though you are in Office, really appreciate. Thank you. Thank you. Let's talk tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Signing off. Have a fantastic.
Sure.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Gary.
Bye, sir.